I want to introduce a couple people that are here today with us. First, Mayor Duggan. Also, the DPOA, the Detroit Police Officers Association, and the LSA, Lieutenants and Sergeants of Detroit Police Department. With that being said, on behalf of over the 1,200 members of the Detroit Firefighters Association, DFFA, who daily risk their lives and limbs for the Detroit residents and visitors, I am honored to announce the endorsement for Mike Duggan as the independent candidate for governor of the great state of Michigan. The reason for this endorsement is obvious. Mike Duggan is an impassioned pragmatist with enormous energy and uncanny ability to identify a problem, chunk it down, and find a clear-eyed, common-sense, level-headed solution. A solution that accommodates the inevitability, competing concerns, and interest in a difficult political question. As a union of public service employees, the DFFA has witnessed firsthand Mike Duggan's extraordinary skill set in handling of city affairs, including during the city's difficult bankruptcy that Mike inherited when first elected as mayor. It's no coincidence that Mayor Duggan has been the mayor of the city during the rise from the virtual ashes to the present state, a thriving, successful destination city. But there's another point to be made here. Mike Duggan's exceptional skills and aptitude are not unique to his work for the city's mayor. His unique qualifications and managerial abilities were evident in Mike's early work in the private sector, where he successfully worked for 9 years before becoming the city's mayor. It's a rare combination of energy, skills, and success in both the private and public sector, which to say is his ability to succeed in any environment and any endeavor he undertakes. And that makes him uniquely qualified to be Michigan's governor. And that's why today the Detroit Firefighters Association endorses Mike Duggan for governor. I have a little something that we put together for the governor, or future governor, a little helmet with Duggan on it. So.
How about this? Thank you. How about that? All right. I don't know if you can match that, Craig.
I don't think I can. How you doing? Good morning. My name is Craig Miller. I am the president of Detroit Police Officers Association. I represent more than 2,000 men and women who put their lives on the line every day to keep our city and our citizens safe. For years, it felt like we were fighting a battle. Then came bankruptcy, our jobs and benefits were slashed, and crime was getting worse. Our members were getting tired and felt as if the city simply didn't care. That all changed when Detroit elected Mike Duggan. He told us he would always put public safety first and do everything that he could to support the men and women of the Detroit Police Department. And that's exactly what he did. When the calls came to defund police, Mike Duggan stood with us. He increased the starting salary of Detroit police officers so we could finally become competitive with departments in the suburbs. He gave officers raises and hired 300 police officers. He knew that us versus them politics wouldn't work. That's why he invested in the men and women of DPD and the community so we could work together to make Detroit safer. Our hard work and partnership have paid off. Violent crimes is down and people are coming back to Detroit. Mike Duggan has really made an impact on Detroit during his time as mayor. His leadership through difficult times like the city's bankruptcy, COVID, and protesters seem to have earned him a lot of trust. The fact that the city was able to have such a large-scale, peaceful event like the 2024 NFL Draft is a testament to his approach to public safety. Mike Duggan has outstanding leaders. Mike Duggan has been an outstanding leader in Detroit, and we need his leadership in Lansing more than ever. Michigan's next governor must put public safety first. That's why the men and women of Detroit Police Officers Association are proud to endorse Mike Duggan as our choice for governor of Michigan. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Lieutenant Mark Young, the president of the Detroit Police Lieutenants and Sergeants Association. I represent 670 men and women. We're endorsing Mike Duggan for governor for numerous reasons. He's a relations builder. He's a team builder. If he has done all these great things for this city, imagine what he'd do for the state. And what he has put public safety first meant a lot to me. I'm honored to support Mike Duggan for governor of the state. I think he's going to do some awesome things, and I think he's going to take us in the direction that we need to go. And I appreciate you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. The first 4,000 union members have endorsed in the 2026 governor's campaign, and I'm just so honored that the ones who know me the best, our police officers, our lieutenants and sergeants, our firefighters, and our EMTs, have come behind my campaign. I've never seen endorsements this early, and I was really moved when they contacted me and said, we want to make a statement, because we've been through some things together. I mean, when I came in here, our police officers were making $15 an hour and working mandatory 12-hour shifts and bailing for the suburbs in huge numbers. We had only 8 working ambulances on the road, and when the EMTs who were working showed up, they took the brunt of the anger from the public that had been waiting. And our firefighters too often would have their equipment break down on the way to a fire, and too many times when they got there, the hydrant wasn't working. That's where we started together. And it didn't happen overnight, but the men and women up here are committed to 2 things. They're committed to the welfare of their members, and they're committed to the welfare of the people of the city of Detroit. We've worked it together, and to see the numbers we saw last year, the fewest homicides since 1965. That has been years of dedicated effort. And the ambulances that often took an hour to arrive, the 8-minute national standards seemed like a pipe dream. But what this firefighters union did was support us in cross-training all of our firefighters also as medical first responders. And now, the Detroit Fire Department is at a 7-minute and 30-second response time, one of the fastest in America. That's what this group did. And so I told them it wasn't politically correct to endorse this early, but the interesting thing is they're not politicians. They're first responders, and I think the Republican and Democratic parties have not figured out the magnitude of what is happening politically. Things are shifting quickly, and anybody can stand in front of camera and read a speech saying what they're going to do. For the last 11 years, there's one person who's run public safety and proven the commitment to the police departments, fire departments, and EMS departments. We need to have this commitment in every community in the state of Michigan. And I just want to be here today to say thank you to every one of you for what you've done. All right?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
And with that, I guess we'll take any questions.
Claire Anderson, Detroit Free Press. Can you just sort of talk about why these endorsements are significant? It would probably be a political problem if you didn't get the endorsement of these unions, right?
You know, I think people, you ought to go look at the political chattering class when I announced. Everybody assumed the unions were all going to endorse the Democrats, and as an independent, people wouldn't follow. But I'll let these folks make a decision. My guess is that there is a significant mix of Republicans and Democrats in every one of their memberships. But the fact that, and this is a hard thing to say, some people say an independent can't win. They've lived with me for 11 years, people saying Detroit's not going to be safe. The fire department can't be restored. We've been listening to all the things Detroit can't do for 11 years. So when people say to them, an independent can't be governor, it means an awful lot when they say we've done more challenging things than that.
Does anybody else want to take on that question?
I will.
Go ahead.
It's not about being a Democrat or a Republican right now. Times are changing. We need to move in the right direction. As a mayor, he is taking us there. Train station used to be the face of the bankruptcy for me. Now it's a picture of hope. I love seeing my city. I live here, I love here, and the people that I represent risk their lives to be here. I thank you for all you've done, from the technology, the upgrades, and some other things, and the direction that we're going. That's what I'm looking for, not rhetoric, actions. And over the last 11 or so years, that's exactly what he's done, and I thank you.
Yeah.
Tom?
Were you going to say something as well? Then you go right after. No, I'm good. Oh, okay.
Just to add on to what Mark said, actions speak louder than words. This is a man of actions, as you heard me speak during my endorsement. It was about his actions, what he does, what he's continuing to do. And what he's doing is continuing to move us forward. And as you see, as all the public safety unions are up here, we're all in one accord saying, keep moving us forward on a higher level. And we appreciate you and support you.
Community relations.
Go ahead.
Hi, Sam Sharber with MERS News. On the Republican side, Senate Minority Leader Nesbitt is saying that he's been able to raise $1 million in the first 72 hours of his gubernatorial campaign. How about you, Duggan? How are you doing with the numbers?
Yeah, so I have a little bit different approach to things. I don't tell my opponents how we're doing. We just execute. So you're going to see this throughout the campaign, but the support has been overwhelming, and we'll report it in the reporting period. I never figured out why people would tell the other side how you're doing before you had to, but that's their strategy.
Okay, so just to confirm, you're not going to say how much you've raised until the campaign finance?
I never in my life have I disclosed strategies before I needed to, but we will file on the appropriate dates. And all you have to do is ask some of the most traditionally largest business leaders who they're supporting, and I'll let them speak for themselves. But the game of who raised what money on what date is not my game. Other questions? Yeah.
I'll ask a bonus one just to some of the public safety people in this room. Could you just kind of tell me a little bit about what your quality of life was like 11 years ago and what you're happy about, the new quality of life you have now?
You know, I'll take that one. That's pretty easy. So, and we were just talking about this recently. So 11 years ago, we went through the bankruptcy. 11 years ago, we got the pay cuts. 11 years ago, we were trying to figure out ways for our members to make ends meet. 11 years ago, we were trying to figure out health care plans for our people to get to the hospitals and get care. I was skeptical. When Mayor Duggan got elected, that all started to change. It didn't happen overnight. It was gradual, but it started to change. Looking to today, I can say that friends, and I consider all these our friends, our quality of life has changed. Our kids are going to school. People that are in the city of Detroit, even the state of Michigan, are getting a quality level education. Through Mayor Duggan, we've created a partnership through universities to where critical thinking matters, to where our members are starting to get degrees, bachelor's degrees, master's degrees. So when you talk about the quality of life improving, to look back 10 years ago, 11 years ago to right now, it's nothing but excitement. Our children, if they don't want to be police officers, they can go into skilled trades through building and funds that we've partnership with the city of Detroit through the police department. Everybody doesn't want to be a police officer. So, hey, Let's work with the IBEW. Let's work with some of the other local unions to get our children in places to where they can build the city up. That's what I see the city of Detroit growing. It's crazy to see people walking down Puritan and feel safe. It's crazy to see people on Joy Road and see people feeling safe, but that's what we're seeing as police officers. And we see the numbers because we see the crime stats going down. We see the crime stats. When you first started seeing them, it was like, is this real? Is this real? Then the next year, oh, it's real. It's real. Then you got the buy-in from the officers, from the detectives, the investigators that are going out there creating these community relations, creating these partnerships with the businesses, and not just in Detroit. It's spreading out. It's spreading out to the Southfields, to the Royal Oaks. You can go out to all these other, to the Dearborns, to the Hazel Parks. Every place is starting to thrive. So when we talk about a stronger Detroit, we've created, through the mayor, a stronger region. We've actually done it. I'll defer because I can talk to you all day.
I didn't want to slow you down.
It is a comment that Rodney made. When you look at it, at one point, Detroit, the city of Detroit seemed isolated. It seemed isolated. Through the mayor's efforts, those bridges, those community partnerships have increased drastically. I told you about the train station, how I felt about that, but it's also working here. It was a time that the parade was on Woodward, that they put up placards to hide the blight. Not anymore. You could literally walk down Woodward, straight down, and different avenues and really enjoy your city. One of the things I was so proud of, and I think a lot of Detroiters are still missing it, when the draft was here, the way that they highlighted and showcased our city, I think it brought a level of pride like I have never felt before. The efforts and the energy that you put into making sure that everything was meticulous as possible, that was powerful. Oh, that's the difference. Relationship building, team building. And you know what? The success is visible. And you know what? I've lived here all my life. And I've never been prouder. And I'm looking forward to more great things happening. And as the mayor, my state will grow. As the governor, my state will grow.
So as we kind of touched on, or the mayor kind of touched on earlier, we had 8 ambulances in the city of Detroit. We're on average keeping 28 ambulances in the city at all times, 365. The firefighters' salaries have bolstered. And I'm talking a lot. He came in, noticed the problems, noticed the issues, and went right to work on solving it. He's a problem solver. That's what he did. I remember being young on the job. We used to go out and we used to hang signs. This building is being watched on all the vacant buildings and homes. We can't do that no more. He's got rid of them. A huge accomplishment. We had so many fires in there that we'd be going in and people would be getting hurt in. He took care of that problem for us. Again, he's a problem solver. This is the guy that we need moving us forward.
All right, I'm not sure we can improve on that, but any other questions? All right, thank you all very much for being here.